Hi and hello everybody, welcome back to our first Q&A, Chatty Repot Q&A of 2025. I typically like to do these every quarter, so 4 times a year, just so it gives people a chance to submit new questions, it gives us a chance to connect more, and I feel like that's a good spacing, then it's not too overwhelming when it's just, happening a handful of times throughout the year. So yeah, I'm very excited. Once again, y'all have come through and submitted a whole bunch of questions. I always feel so bad because there's just no way I can get to all of them. But I feel like some of them are kind of quick answers, so I'm gonna rapid fire the ones that I can just so that I can get through the most amount of questions. Also, a lot of them are questions that I have answered in the past, so I will be sure to link in the description my Q&A playlist so you can check out my other Q&A videos. I've answered tons of questions over the years, so yeah, be sure to check that out. I feel like those are perfect videos just kind of play while you're doing plant chores or while you're doing regular chores. So I hope that sounds good to you. I've gone around my house and gathered up some plants that I am excited to repot today. Now, it's strange because I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm fairly caught up with repots, which is a feeling that I haven't experienced in years, I feel. So yeah, that's just kind of crazy. We repotted a whole bunch of my Hoyas that were in sphagnum moss and my propagations a few videos ago, and now we're doing kind of a variety of plants today. I even have one bigger one, which I'm excited to do. It's always fun to repot larger plants because I feel like so often I'm just repotting like kind of baby plants, which is still fun. But yeah, we have a really great mix. So I guess I'll start by introducing the plants so we can kind of get a feel of what's gonna be going down. So first of all, we are going to be repotting my Marble Queen Pothos, one of my all-time favorite plants, and I've been extra obsessed with it lately since the one that I'm growing up this pole has been really starting to size up. It's starting to look incredible. So she's still in this small, I think this is a 5-inch pot, and I just want to bump her up to, what is this? This is maybe like a 6.5-inch pot, if I had to guess. I don't know. It's not very much bigger, but it's big enough that I think it's going to make a difference for her. So we're going to do that. Oh, wait, is that the one I want to put her in, or is this? I think maybe this is the one, but still, same kind of deal. It's just like one size up, basically. We are also going to be repotting my alocasia pink dragon, which is another plant that I'm obsessed with lately. I love the pink petioles, and she's just in this small pot. She dries out fairly quickly, so I thought I would go ahead and kind of get on top of things before she gets too root bound in here and give her a bit of a size up. So we're just going to be going up to this 5-inch pot. Wait, that's 5? Yeah, that is 5-inch. Okay. Makes sense, makes sense. Also going into a 5-inch pot is my alocasia watsoniana, which is another one that I'm just in love with, and it's getting ready to pop a new leaf. I can see that getting plumper right there, that growth point. Next, I'm going to be repotting both of my rhipsalis paradoxa. This is the minor, so the one with like thinner vines, and this is crazy, you guys. I popped this out to see what was going on in here when I was deciding if I should repot or not, and look at the root situation. If I can get this out, I cut this pot so that it would fit in here, but you have to pull it out like straight. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, we're all good. Look at the roots. Oh my gosh. So obviously water was pooling in this cover pot and the roots were just coming out and having a party. Look at them though. They look so nice and healthy. Like, wow, kind of satisfying. But yeah, I think that this one definitely would appreciate going up a size. And then also my rhipsalis paradoxa, just the regular one, the chunkier one. I think I prefer this one. It seems that a lot of people prefer the thinner one. I think that one is more rare or uncommon, but I don't know, something about this chunky one I just really love. This has been in this pot for so incredibly long. It's one of my last plants that are actually living in a terracotta style pot. I think I only have 2 left in my collection, this one and the Hoya hushkuliana, but today it is going to be transferred into a plastic pot because I don't really mess with terracotta anymore. But that just goes to show how long it's been since I've repotted this thing, so it's definitely due. It's looking really nice these days. I have really been loving my rhipsalis lately. Next, we are going to be potting up my Hoya globulosa cow dong. Now this is one that I missed when I was potting my Hoya, my sphagnum moss Hoya propagations. This one, I don't know, it was on the back of the shelf, so I completely missed it. So today we're going to be transferring it from sphagnum moss to soil. This is my only one in sphagnum moss that we're doing today, thankfully, because man, it is a headache removing sphagnum moss. Next, we're going to be potting up my Hoya van Viengensis. Now this one, I don't know why, but I noticed that it's starting to look kind of pale lately. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera, but this was really dark before, and just over the past little while, it started to look kind of pale. Like it's a lighter green, and I don't really know why. And the leaves feel kind of soft, so when I felt that, I kind of started to panic. I don't know if it's because it's just drying out so much because it's in this tiny little pot, but I've really been meaning to upsize it, so I'm gonna be doing that today, and we'll see if that helps it feel any better, and we'll also just be able to get a better look at the roots. Hopefully it's not flat mites or something like that, but yeah. I mean, from the outside of the container, the roots look healthy, but we'll be able to get a better look when I actually pull this out. Yeah, we're potting up some really good plants today, I feel. So this is my Hoya Sulawesiana, and same kind of thing, it's just in this small little pot, and I've been meaning to repot it, so we're going to be getting that done today. And then lastly, I have Hoya elliptica. I don't know why mine is looking so bleached. Like, I feel like when I see other people's, they're nice and green, and mine just looks like yellow. So I'm like, are you well? But it's growing, like it's just put out 2 new leaves. I don't know, it's really weird. It's got tons of healthy roots. But yeah, we're just gonna repot it, and if anyone knows why mine is looking so pale like this, please do let me know. It is very strange. That's what the back looks like. I've never had a Hoya grow that color before. At least I haven't had a Hoya put out leaves that color. Like they come out that color and they stay that color. I could understand if an older hardened leaf gets bleached or something, being too close to a light, but that isn't even too close to a light, or yeah, I don't know. I feel like there has to be a different issue going on. To power me through all of these repots that we have ahead of us, I'm going to be drinking my Peak Sun Goddess matcha, literally one of my favorite drinks ever, and Peak is kindly sponsoring today's video, so thank you so much to them. Many of you know how much I love this matcha, but if you don't, let me tell you why I'm so passionate about it. So a couple of years ago, I was on the hunt to find a drink that was going to energize me, but also support my overall health and well-being. I was really trying to decrease how much coffee I was drinking as an anxious girly. That was just not working for me, so I needed something that was going to help power me through my days, but not give me an anxiety spike. Enter Peak's matcha. It contains caffeine, so it gives me an energy boost, but it also contains an ingredient called L-theanine, which is a calming ingredient, so it doesn't give me an anxiety spike, it doesn't give me the jitters, a crash, it just gives me nice sustained energy and chill vibes. Peak's matcha is also amazing for the skin, which I really appreciate. They actually shade it for longer, so you're getting more antioxidants and more chlorophyll when it's grown that way, which are both powerful ingredients for brightening, clarifying, and firming the skin. Peak really stands out to me, and I really appreciate them for ensuring that their matcha is of the highest quality. So it is quadruple toxin screened for purity, it is organic, ceremonial grade, and it has a really high quality taste as well. I find it to be really creamy and smooth tasting. I genuinely am always looking forward to drink it, and it's so easy to stay consistent with drinking it as well because it comes in pre-measured sachets. You can take it with you while you travel. It dissolves in hot or cold water, and I love matcha because you can do so many different things. Like there's so many different ways to prepare it and to drink it, different matcha lattes you can make. So yeah, it is just one of my favorite things ever to drink. If you're interested in checking it out for yourself, you can actually get 15% off your order with the link down below in the description box, and you will also get a free cup and a free rechargeable frother. Thank you so much to Peak for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so I think that we will start with a fun one, the Marble Queen Pothos, and I'm also going to pair it with a fun question. So this question actually got the most likes. It has 25 thumbs up, and it says, if you could design a house that you considered perfect for your plants, what would it include? Floor to ceiling windows, waterproof flooring. That would be smart. automatic shades, etc. It could include things that exist or maybe things you wish existed. This is a lengthy one, but I daydream of the perfect plant house / collection often when I can't sleep, and I would love to hear what yours would include. Maybe I'll get the pot ready before I bring that over. So my perfect planty house would definitely include windows, obviously, like floor to ceiling, big windows pretty much everywhere. Hopefully I would be located somewhere that had some privacy, because I never like to pull my shades. Like, the windows are left open pretty much all the time, and I think that it would be a hassle if I had to mess around with closing and opening them every single day. So if I could live in like a somewhat private location, have just big windows everywhere, be south facing, have skylights. That is something I've always wanted so badly, is skylights. If you have skylights, I'm so jealous. Not only would it be amazing for plants, but it just adds such a nice vibe. And when it's raining and stuff, oh my gosh, I would love that so much. It'd be nice to have some fancy heating and cooling system that just constantly monitored like the temperature and humidity and everything and kept it to a set range. Built-in shelves would be really nice if I just had like a big wall with built-in shelves that had a window across from them, so the light was coming in. I didn't have to install grow lights or anything. Or if there was grow lights in this house, I would love if they were all like my Soltech Highland and installed on the ceilings or wherever, to just keep them up and out of the way. Also, I would love to have, if I had like a dedicated plant room, which I wish I still had, but I don't. But if I had a dedicated plant room again, I would love for it to have a sink. I've seen some people have that, where they have like a sink built into the room, so they don't have to come out to the kitchen to do, or the bathroom to do their plant care. How luxurious would that be? And like a potting bench, good storage for all of my supplies. I have storage right now. I just need to put some effort into sorting it out myself. There's probably so many like creative customizations that could be made to a house if we truly just could like pick whatever we wanted. So it's kind of a fun question. Leave a comment down below and leave your answer of what you would add to a house if you could choose anything to make it better for your plants. Okay, I think that is a good height. I mean, it's a little overfilled. See if I can squish this down a little bit more. That should be fine. I'll just press that a little bit. And honestly, just space, like just a bigger house so that I could put, like, not even put more plants in it, but so that I could space my plants out a little bit better, or have more room for like big statement plants, because I'm very limited with the amount of like large mature plants that I can have. I have my wall with my big climbers, the Glorious and the Esqueleto, but other than that, like, where would I put big plants like that? I don't really have anywhere right now. Next question is a quick one. Where did you and your partner meet? Tinder, like 7 years ago. How would you like to live after you retire? Traveling, staying at home and finding new hobbies, moving to another country, etc. Honestly, I don't know. Someone else asked, like, where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? And to be honest with you, I don't even know where I see myself next week. Like, I don't freaking know, y'all. I'm just out here rolling with the punches. Like, I don't have a lot of plans. I'm just trying to live my life and not be overwhelmed and try to be, you know, happy. But in all honesty, how would you like to live after you retire? When I picture my life when I'm a lot older, I picture it like how I want it to be right now, but without the commitment of having to work, I guess. So I would love to just spend all my free time like gardening and reading and just like relaxing and drinking tea and not having to worry about making money. Although who knows what my retirement will look like, because I'm self-employed. And yeah, I hope it's gonna be chill. That's all I can say, is I hope that it's gonna be chill. Oh, dogs. I would love to just like adopt dogs. That would be a really good use of my time when I'm retired. Hi Fern, I'm wondering how you store all of your planting materials, extra pots, DIY potting soil, DIY pond, moss, etc. I'm a new plant parent and my supplies are quickly taking over the house. Thank you. Yes, I understand because I definitely feel like my supplies are taking over the house as well, and I don't even have most of my supplies upstairs. All of my pots, extra potting mix that I don't need right away, anything that I'm not using like super frequently, or if I just have like a backup stash of, goes downstairs in our crawl space. So there's some shelving down there that my pots and stuff like that are on, and then there's also like bins that I have full of other plant stuff. It's not pretty. I'll put a photo up. It's not pretty, but it does the job. I need to go through everything because there's tons of like terracotta pots which I don't use anymore, so I think I'm just gonna give those all away this year. I just need to go through all of my supplies and get rid of, because yeah, I've accumulated a lot of supplies that I don't necessarily need all of it anymore, you know? I do have stuff that I use frequently, like I have my batch of DIY soil, I have some bins full of different potting amendments, I have some pots upstairs, but most of my pots are downstairs, and yeah, just kind of random, like I have my trellises up here, my like acrylic ones, all of my fertilizers and everything are up here. Most of the stuff is in a closet and it's a mess right now. I need to go through it. And then I also have my plant cart, which lives in the bathroom, which is kind of random. And whenever people come here, they're probably just like, okay. But it is what it is. That's one of my main things that I want to focus on this year, getting my supplies organized, and also something else that popped into my head the other day that I was like, wait, I need to do that in 2025 is the cord control on my Vitso shelf. I need to do something about that because the cords, oh, it drives me crazy. So yeah, I need to sort those out and just get it looking cuter. Somebody's asking about my YouTube analytics. I've shared that in one of my Q&A posts, but demographic, almost half of my audience is from the US. I think it's like 47% or something. What kinds of videos perform the best? Honestly, it's kind of hit or miss. I feel like my walkthroughs always do pretty well. Plant tours obviously do pretty well. And then sometimes randomly like a favorites video will take off, or long videos like a week of plant tours, those tend to do well. Sometimes I'm surprised though. Sometimes normally I have a pretty good sense of what's going to do well and what's not going to do well, but sometimes I will get surprised in something that I didn't expect to do amazing. Like for example, I posted that low light video last week and I was surprised that it was performing so well. For some reason, I wasn't expecting it to, but y'all really came through. So yeah, that was cool. What are your favorite planty creators on social media? I've answered this one a few times as well, but I will pop a few that I've been watching recently on the screen. I am always watching different people, so I kind of shout out different people every single time. But yeah, and I'll also link them down below in the description. Okay, I'm actually gonna reuse this pot for my alocasia watsoniana. I don't really feel like rinsing it. I'm gonna be so honest with you right now. I don't think I'm going to. Hi Fern, I love all your content. Thank you so much. My question would be about what the best way to get plants to size up their leaves. For example, philodendron and anthurium. Yours are always looking super healthy and have some really impressive growth. Thank you in advance and can't wait for more of your fab videos. Thank you so much. And for philodendrons, definitely moss poles, specifically the closed back ones, are like the only way that mine size up. Even my climbing ones on wire poles, they just do not do nearly as well. So this year I'm going to be switching all of my climbing philodendron onto closed back poles, which I'm excited about. I experimented with the wire poles and it was a no from me. So yeah, definitely, I know a lot of people hate moss poles and maybe hate that answer, but I feel like it really is the way to get your philodendron, at least your climbing ones, to size up. If you're talking about trailing philodendron or like self-heading philodendron, I would say just decent light and fertilizer. You need to be feeding your plants probably more than some people realize. I think some people are scared to fertilize or to like over fertilize, but I don't think it happens as frequently as people think it does. and plants are hungry. Okay, I'm scared of breaking her roots off. How does your partner cope with all the plants in your house? My husband is already going crazy with my 50 plants. I don't know, he's just used to it. And he's very easygoing about the plants, because if he had a hobby that was as intrusive and as messy as mine is, I do not think I would be as patient. So I do really appreciate that he doesn't care. So we kind of like, we have 2 bedrooms in this house, and he has the 2nd bedroom for his hobbies. So I don't get an extra bedroom, but I kind of just get to take over the main space with my plants. And yeah, he doesn't care. So I'm very lucky. He will get annoyed if I like leave stuff out for like longer than a day. Like say if I did this repotting and then I just left everything here a mess for a while, he would not be happy about that. Or if I like leave stuff in the sink for a while, or you know, then he's kind of like, what the heck, get this stuff out of here. But he's very easygoing about it, so I'm thankful for that. But yeah, it's definitely like, it's, I don't know, it's a funny hobby like that, because it really does like so heavily involve our living space and can easily like take over our living space, especially when you start like installing grow lights and stuff. So yeah, I understand why people would get annoyed. But also, isn't it so cool being able to be surrounded by so many plants? Like my boyfriend does appreciate it, and I will show him, or he'll like notice new growth on plants and stuff. So I think we both like having them around. I'd love a few tips on veganism and maybe some tasty recipe resource suggestions. Okay, so for tasty recipes, for like simple, good recipes, check out From My Bowl. I'll link her website, and actually she's on YouTube too and Instagram, so I can link her down below. Also, I'm a huge Rainbow Plant Life fan, which many of you have probably heard me talk about her recipes before, but they definitely are like, they're not as easy and accessible as some other recipes. Like they are just, can be a little bit more time consuming and require more ingredients and stuff. So I don't think that they're like, I love her recipes. They're definitely worth taking the time to make, but I don't want to just recommend that to people off the bat and then them get like, I don't know, overwhelmed. So From My Bowl is a really good one. I've been making a lot of her recipes lately actually. So I will link her. Also a good app that I used to talk about all the time, but I kind of stopped using it. Not for any reason really. I just kind of like, I don't know, started making other things and just whatever. But Meal Lime. And I used to talk about, okay, there we go. Meal Lime. I feel like it is just a really great plant, a really great app, especially for people who are starting out trying to find vegan meals and learn vegan cooking and stuff, because it is like a meal planning app. So it's free. There is a paid version, but you can access a lot of recipes on the free version, and you can just like tick off plant-based. So all the recipes it'll show you are plant-based. You choose the recipes that you want to make for the week. It will build you a grocery list, and it will also give you step-by-step instructions for each of those recipes. It's fantastic. Honestly, I need to get back on there. I haven't made a meal lime recipe in so long. As for tips on veganism, let me know what tips or advice you're looking for. I guess like in general, people who are interested in veganism, I would just watch as many documentaries and do as much research as you can. When I first tried going vegan, I failed because like I was like, this is the lifestyle that I want to do. Like I felt really aligned with it, but I was unsuccessful the first time I attempted it. And then I did a bunch of research and watched documentaries, yes, the ones that are hard to watch. And after that, I was so emotionally locked in that I was just like, I'm gonna figure this out, and I did. And honestly, it is the best decision I've ever made. Okay, Watsoniana is done. Look at her in this big pot. I'm so excited to have her sized up finally. Hopefully she'll continue to just grow nicely for me. So I'm just using my DIY soil mix right now. It is very simple. It is just Pro Mix HP and orchid bark. That's literally all I put. The perlite in here is just the perlite that already comes in the Pro Mix HP soil mix. So yeah, very simple, very easy, and the plants like it. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm out of my mollies, but a lot of these were in mollies, so I'm kind of saving the mix that they're in and just adding it. I guess we can do this one next. Pink Dragon. So yeah, I'm going to add that old mix into here just because why not? Hi Fern, I'm so happy that you're filming a Q&A video. My question is, what is your most favorite Hoya and Anthurium of the year 2024, considering what grew well the most and what didn't? Okay, so my favorite Hoya of the year, oh gosh, it's hard to just choose one. I need to think about that for a second. I mean, in my favorites of 2024 video, I said that my Hoya Van Viengensis, but that was like a new one. Like, I feel like I only got that in the last quarter of the year. So I feel like I want to pick one that I grew for like the majority of the year. I'm taking this too seriously. I don't know, I feel like I have to go with an OG. Like my Hoya Crimson Queen, she bloomed for the very first time in 2024, which was incredible. So I think that I'm gonna go with her because I waited like 5 years for her to bloom and she finally did. And my favorite Anthurium of 2024, I'm gonna have to say that it was the Anthurium Goliath Forgetii hybrid from Cartel Down. Now I have my classic Anthuriums that I've had for a while that I love, like my Pallidiflorum and my Lux hybrid behind me. But I feel like that Goliath Forgetii just really stood out to me over 2024. That's when it really started to get some size to it. It was giving me just these stunning dark leaves, and I really fell in love with it last year. So I'm gonna go with that one. Hi friend, love your videos. They're always so relaxing. What is the biggest plant in your collection and what is the smallest? The biggest, I think like the biggest leaves is my Luxuriance hybrid Anthurium that's behind me, and the like biggest, like tallest one is my Philodendron Glorious. That one is massive. It's actually crazy. Whenever I look at it, I'm shook to my core. And the smallest is probably one of my Anthurium seedlings or my Hoya Serpens Silver. That one's just a little baby plant. Hi Fern, what was your most unexpected favorite plant in 2024? Ooh, I love this question because I feel like I do. Like a lot of my favorites are plants that I wasn't expecting to love so much. So my Hoya, what is she called again? Camphorifolia. That one really took me by surprise, just how beautiful the foliage is. And like the way that the leaves all lay, I was really surprised by that because I bought that one for the flowers and I didn't really expect to like the foliage, but I do really, really like it. So that was a fun surprise. Also my Bulbophyllum longissimum orchid, I was not expecting for it to bloom for me right away, but it did. It bloomed last spring and completely just shocked me. I fell in love with it, and that is now forever going to be one of my favorite plants. For some reason I thought it would take a really long time, like years, or I would have to like try really hard to get it to bloom, but it just went ahead and bloomed for me. And yeah, I thought that was crazy. So yeah, Bulbophyllum longissimum or longissimum, whatever it is just such a cool orchid, and it's definitely made me want to get more orchids. I'm very tempted by orchids lately. Okay, alocasia pink dragon is all done. She's so beautiful. This is an alocasia that I'm really excited about lately. Can't wait to watch it grow even more now that we have upsized it. Okay, maybe let's do some of my rhipsalis. See, I'm like stressed about this one because I don't think I'm gonna be able to get those roots out. Maybe some of them will squeeze through that hole in the bottom, but I think I might lose this whole nice root system right here. So that's a bummer, but yeah, I do want to get that one potted up. Okay, was this the pot I was gonna use? Wait, did I put this in the wrong pot? I was gonna use this black one. This is what happens when I'm yapping and trying to do this at the same time. Shoot, what was I gonna use for this? That seems like a big, but that's all I have right now to, oh shoot, and I forgot to get more pots when I was downstairs. Oh, that was a dummy move. Okay, well I have one there. And one here. Okay, I guess it's going into here. I don't know, that stresses me. That stresses me. But this is so ugly. I need to cover pot for it. I wish I could pot it into here, but there's no drainage hole and I do not feel like getting the drill out right now. I really don't feel like doing that. Okay, I guess I'm gonna do the green one. I don't know. What am I gonna do? Okay, I just ran downstairs to get some more pots so that we have some more options here. So I have this setup, which is out of commission right now. I would love to put another plant in here. Have this inner pot and then this cute cover pot. So I could use this for one of the rhipsalis, actually. That would be really nice. And then I have I'm out of breath from running down there. A smaller pot that I could put the other, is that even, well, yeah, it is smaller. It is smaller. So maybe I will do that. Or, let me see. No, okay. All right. Oh my gosh, I've got pots everywhere, you guys. Holy smokes, okay. So which one do I want to go in the cute pot? Honestly, I was thinking of putting one of these into a hanging planter, one of my hanging planters. So one could go in a hanging planter and the other could go in this cute pot. I kind of want to put my chunkier one. Well, this would be nice in the window too. Okay, I'm gonna do this one in the regular and then the chunkier one in the gray pot. That is the decision I have come to. Or do I want to do that? Why is this hard? Never mind, I'm changing my mind. I'm doing it the other way around. Okay. Oh my gosh, the indecision. I'm gonna put this one in this pot and then I'll probably end up hanging it in the window. So let's get going with that. What are good places or ways to make planty friends? As someone who is just getting into plants and wants people to do it with, I'm finding it a lot harder making new friends as an adult. I think that a really great way to connect with planty people who will be near you is through Facebook groups. So most cities will have like a houseplant club or houseplant collectors or houseplant whatever of blank city. So I know my city has one or a couple, and then there's also like general ones for Vancouver Island, and you know, I feel like lots of cities have that, and you'll also find out about like local events that are happening, like plant swaps or plant markets and stuff, through Facebook groups like that. And it'll also give you opportunities to do plant trades. You can meet different people, or if you even are like selling plants, or if you have cuttings that you just want to give away, if you post in there, then that's also a good way to meet people. That's the main idea that comes to me. Hi Fern, I know you've mentioned how you used to work as a nurse. I was wondering if you would share some tips on how you got through that busy season of your life while still caring for your plant collection. I currently work full-time night shift in a hospital, and I'm in college full-time during the day, and sometimes I feel like I have no energy to give to my plants. Love your videos and thank you for all the dedication you put into creating this relaxing community of planty people. Now, to be honest with you, I have no idea how I did it either. Like, I don't know how well, I definitely didn't have as many plants as I have now. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I was just like, when I was still working as a nurse, I was still pretty new to plants, and I think I was honestly very fueled by just the like serotonin and dopamine that comes from finding a new hobby and a new obsession, and I was just very excited. So I would literally, oh my gosh, what's going on with the roots here? Okay, they look fine. Oh my gosh, this is a relic. Do y'all remember when I used to put this? Oh my goodness, if you watch my videos when I used to put this produce mesh in my plant pots to block the drainage holes from soil falling out, comment down below, because what the heck? Oh my gosh, see, I told you this hasn't been repotted for a long time. This is like years and years old. That's crazy. That's like 2021 or 2020 times 2020 maybe. What? Oh my gosh, wow. And the root system is still so small. Should I be worried about that? Like, hello? Why is there like a literal pine cone in here as well? Like, what is going on here? This is so funny, okay? At least there's lots of air holes in this pot. Anyways, yeah, gosh, I would not be able to do it now. Like if I was working night shift and I had this many plants, like there's just no way I would be able to do it. So I would definitely focus on getting your collection to a place where you are able to manage it without bending over backwards, because you are so busy. Working freaking night shift already is just like so incredibly hard. I remember it drains your energy. Even when you're like off shift, on your days off, your energy is still so drained. I can't imagine doing that while being a full-time student and having a plant collection. So props to you. But yeah, holy smokes, I don't know, my best advice is just to make your life as easy as possible when it comes to plant care. Like maybe consider self-watering pots. I don't know if you grow anything in semi-hydro, but yeah, I would just try to make things as low maintenance as possible and try to stick as much as you can to a routine so that things aren't getting out of hand, like pest issues and stuff like that, because that's obviously just going to be a nightmare if it does get out of hand. I will say that for me, when I was like really starting to get a high number of plants in my collection, like 100 plus, and I was still working in the hospital full time and doing YouTube on the side, it was during like pandemic times. So that definitely, like, there wasn't really anything else to do. Like I was just going to work, you know, like 2020, 21, I was just going to work and taking care of my plants basically. So it's different than now. And yeah, like I said, I don't think I would be able to do it again. I don't think I would be able to do it today. So props to you, and just, yeah, try to make your plant collection as easy as possible, because my goodness. Hi Vern, love your channel. What are your top 5 favorite teas and what do you add to it, if anything? I love a lemon zinger with a squeeze of fresh lemon. That sounds so good. No sweetener. Also, I know both of your fur babies are seniors. Do you have any thoughts on getting a puppy? My 5 favorite teas, obviously I love matcha. We've already talked about that. I love, there's a black lavender tea that I drink that's made by a local tea company here. It's so good. So that's definitely one of my favorites. I also love just green tea. I will sometimes put some of my like vegan honey in it, which makes it really good. I also put that in my matcha lattes and it's delicious. Yeah, I love like lots of different herbal teas, lemon ginger, lemon zinger, like you said. I've never put fresh lemon in though. That sounds like it'd make it pop even more though. I will have to try that. And I love me a good sleepy time tea. We make a sleepy tea every single night when we're winding down, getting ready for bed. So yeah, I love a good sleepy tea. Any thoughts on getting a puppy? No, I don't think I will ever get a puppy, honestly. I think that I will, I would be more likely to adopt a senior dog than a puppy at this point. First of all, I don't really have any interest in like doing the puppy thing. Again, if/when I adopt more dogs, I'm gonna be adopting the ones that I think need a home the most and that I could provide a home to, like especially since I work from home and stuff. I think that I am in the position more than some other people to be able to accommodate a dog that has maybe like special needs or is senior or, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, a puppy probably not, but more dogs probably. I used to say no, but when I think about all the dogs that need homes, it just makes me so sad, and I want to provide a home for as many of them as I can. So when is that gonna happen? I don't know. It is like a big financial commitment. I feel like I've talked about this in like the last Q&A as well. Here I am going on about dogs again. I'm obsessed with dogs. Yeah, it's just a big commitment and we take it very, very seriously. So that's why we don't have another one yet, and especially because Cadence, there's like so much going on with her right now, just as she's aging. Like she has dementia and she needs somebody to be with her pretty much all the time. She's deaf, she's losing her vision, she's losing a lot of the strength and mobility in her back legs. So a lot of our energy and focus is really on her right now. But for the future, more dogs. Old dogs, probably. I feel so bad for the old ones that people don't want to adopt. How do you stay so calm and quiet in every moment? Sometimes I think I am overwhelmed of how much I have to do in my house with plants, kids, and other hobbies. That's why I love your planty content. It's a joy to hear you talking about what you love. It makes me so happy when people comment that my videos are relaxing to them or like help calm them, because that, I feel like that's like one of the biggest goals that I'm after with my channel. Like I really just want to be a comfort creator to people. I want to be like a form of escapism. I want to be, you know, just a moment in someone's day where they can truly just relax and kind of be somewhere else mentally. I understand though, I feel like to-do lists are never ending. There is always just like so many external pressures coming down on us all the time, and I don't even have kids, so I don't know how y'all do it. I really don't know how y'all do it, but yeah. I need to start meditating again. That's another goal that I want to work towards for 2025, because I feel like it really does help to center me and just provide some clarity and some quiet in the noggin. So yeah, I need to get back into that. Anyways, I guess I'm just saying that I do not feel calm and quiet in every moment either. So yeah, I don't know if that makes you feel any better or not. Okay, we are going to move on to the thinner rhipsalis. Did I even show this one when I finished it, or did I just set it to the side? Here she is, all potted up. I feel like this lighting is looking kind of crazy right now. Is it? Can you see my messy counter? Okay. I recently purchased a Stapelia. Can you go into detail on its care and how you got yours to bloom? It's my 2025 goal. Yeah, I don't know. Mine has been a really reliable bloomer for me. Like, I feel like I don't do anything special, but I will tell you how I care for it. So I put all of my succulents, including that one, outside in the summertime. I don't know if that helps it to bloom. Well, obviously it does. Like when it's outside, it's happy and growing and thriving, and it usually blooms. But it also blooms in the winter when it's inside. But maybe being outside just like turbocharges it for the whole year. I don't know. This is not very scientific. But it does live outside in the summertime, and then I bring it in the rest of the year, and it lives under Barina grow lights, and it seems to love the Barinas. Like something about those lights just seem to be the perfect amount. They're 10-watt lights, and they seem to be the perfect amount of light for my Stapelias. Both the Grandiflora and the Gigantea just do really well under it. I use the Schultz cactus fertilizer. I fertilize probably every couple of weeks during the growing season, and then in the off season I don't fertilize as often. I usually maybe like once a month I will fertilize my succulents. Oh my gosh, they're actually going through the hole. What? No way! I thought I was gonna lose those roots for sure. That's crazy. Okay. We were able to keep most of those roots. Wow. I'm impressed. Wow, this is a way bigger. Oh my gosh. See, this is the difference between terracotta. Did you guys see how minuscule the root system was for the other one? And then this one has been living in plastic and a cover pot, so it's been retaining a lot more moisture. And look at that big root system we have. Hopefully the other one can really make a comeback with its roots now that it's going to be in plastic, because wow. Anyways, yeah, Schultz cactus fertilizer. It's really cheap. I bought mine at like literally the grocery store or something. And yeah, that's pretty much, I have it in I think it's just in a soil and perlite mix, like a DIY cactus mix. Maybe soil, perlite, and pumice is what it's in. And I water it, honestly, pretty similar to my tropicals. Like as soon as I let it get bone dry, but then I water right away, and they will actually go soft. You can feel when they're thirsty. So yeah, that's what I do. I hope that yours blooms this year though. It probably will. I feel like they love to bloom. Hi Fern, love both your channels. Have you ever thought about getting an aquarium? I think you'd love little fishies. So calming and looks beautiful amongst your beautiful plants. My planty question is not only how often do you water your succulents and cacti, but the amount of water you give them, and do you fertilize and how often? Same question for your Hoyas. Thank you, Fern. Hi to your puppies and boyfriend. Enjoy your day. Thank you so much. I get this question somewhat frequently, if I would get an aquarium or if I would get reptiles. The answer is no. Hard no to both of them. My planty question is not only how often do you, okay, so watering, I water, well, in the summertime, like once a week usually. In the winter time, I've been watering Like usually every second time I water my whole collection, like my tropicals, I will water my succulents. So probably every couple of weeks, like twice a month in the winter, I will water them. And like I said in the last question, I fertilize them almost every watering in the summer, and then just about once or twice a month in the winter time. And I fully drench them. So I don't just offer like a little sip. If they are bone dry, then I will water them until water is coming out the bottom of the pot. This kind of stuff is so variable though, because it just depends on so many factors. It depends on where you're growing them, what is the temperature, how much light are they getting, what are they potted in, what type of pot are they in terracotta, are they in plastic, what are they in, like a cactus mix, is it really well draining? Like there's just so many variables that it's hard, like even me telling you the amount that I'm watering doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to be the amount that you need to water. If you want to hear more about my cactus and succulents, I do an annual repot of them every year, so you can see the substrate and the pots that I use. I will link that in the description. But yeah, it's hard to give specific advice because everyone's like scenario is so different. Given your creative nature and love of reading, have you ever considered writing your own book? No, I haven't. I don't know what I would write it about. I love reading though. I would love to be able to write, or to like take a writing class or something, but to write a book, I don't know if I could ever do that, y'all. And you know, I don't really see myself as being creative. I wish I was creative, but I just don't feel creative. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like, I don't know. But like there's different types of creativity, so maybe I am creative in some ways. I don't know. I mean, you never know. Maybe I will write a book one day, but it's not looking likely at this point. I'm a huge fan of not just your channel, but of you. I just love your aesthetic. I hope this isn't weird, but I actually recently used your hair as info for my new haircut. I think you mentioned once having another YouTube channel for more beauty type content. I was wondering what it's called and if you could do some current hairstyling tutorials. I love seeing all the cute styles you come up with. Thank you so much. That is so nice. So yeah, I share lifestyle stuff on my vlog channel, which is called Cozy Plant Lady. It's always linked in the description if any of y'all want to check it out. I talk a lot about just anything else, honestly, besides houseplants. I talk about, I do a lot of cooking. I talk about my nails and nail polish. I recently posted like a whole nail video on my nail routine and how I've been able to like maintain like growing my nails out and how everything I use and stuff. And I will, if I like trim my hair, it will be on that channel. I have like bang trim videos where I trim my bangs, and yeah, there's lots of stuff on there, and like even outdoor gardening stuff I talk about a little bit, or like show snippets of on there. So if you're interested, make sure you check out that channel. Usually my hair is just straight out of the shower. I don't really use heat on it anymore. Any styles that I do are, you know, I do braids a lot. Sometimes I do like a half up, half down, or like my little ponytails and stuff like that. I feel like I don't do anything fancy, but I appreciate that y'all like it. So thank you. I could show me doing my hair on there more, even if it is something simple. So maybe I will. Happy 2025. Now that it is a new year, what are your planty goals? Are you thinking of downsizing, maybe getting into a new plant species? What are your outdoor garden plans for this year? Planty goals. Did I make a video talking about my goals on this channel? I feel like I think I've just talked in like my wish list video about how in general I'm like not really gonna be buying plants, or I'm gonna be buying less plants, and I'm gonna be downsizing and stuff. So yeah, that's definitely the plan. I just want to focus on the plants that I have, and I really just like want to have a focus on just having nice, bigger, or like healthier plants, like having fewer but just more impressive plants than having just so many plants that are crazy, overwhelming, and cluttered. And I mean, I'm still, let's be honest here, but I did set like a loose goal of getting rid of 100 plants this year, so pray for me because I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. Although I have already gotten rid of a handful, so that's good. Getting into a new plant species. If there was something that I was gonna get into this year, it would probably be orchids, but I don't think I'm gonna be buying a ton of plants. So maybe I will get like a couple orchids. I could potentially see that happening. What are your outdoor garden plans for this year? Pretty much the same as last year. I'm gonna be switching some of the beds, like growing different things in some of the beds based on lessons that I learned last year with how big certain plants can get. Like I planted my squash right at the entrance to the garden, which was a massive mistake because I could hardly walk through. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be doing anything too new and crazy. I was originally planning on getting more garden beds because I still need to get two new beds, and then I also wanted to change out my berry. I have like old wooden raised beds that are kind of falling apart. I was gonna replace those with my Vigo metal garden beds, but I don't even know if I'm gonna do that anymore. I mean, I will eventually because I'm gonna have to replace those, but I kind of just don't feel like adding new beds right now this year. So I might just work with what I have. So the garden is probably going to be pretty similar. I would love to incorporate more flowers this year, just in general, not even in my like fenced off garden, but just like around the yard and around the house. I would love to do that. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, the next question was also about garden planning. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. Okay, so this one is now done also. Rhipsalis paradoxa minor. Let's set him to the side. What do we have left? Just a few Hoya, 4 Hoyas left. Is that it? Yeah, wow, nice. Let's do the Veganism because I'm scared. I'm scared to look at the roots. Please be okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Yeah, honestly, I think maybe it just needs a repot. Oh! Yeah, the roots look healthy. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for that. They are like white and healthy. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but they look good. I don't know why this plant just is looking sus though then. It's weird. Hi Fern, I live in Vermont and it's so cold here by my window, so I was wondering if you've used heat mats with plants at all. Love both your channels. They're getting me through these chilly winter days. Thank you so much. I love that a lot of you watch both of my channels. That's so nice. I haven't really used heat mats a lot for my houseplants. I have a couple heat mats, but I only really use them for starting some of my seeds for my garden, like for my tomato seeds and peppers and stuff like that. So the main reason that I haven't really used them in my houseplants is because I genuinely do think that it would be really helpful with propagating, especially in the winter time. But I don't use them because I'm just paranoid of fire. So, you know, I'm already like stressed about having anything plugged in here, and there's like all these lights and stuff, which I'm like very vigilant about. But having something like a heat mat going, I would just be stressed. So that's why I don't have one going, but maybe they could be helpful, I don't know. What are your favorite tools right now that you would recommend for people new to collecting that really stepped up your care for the plants? Mostly Hoya care. P.S. Love your vibe on this channel and cannot wait to see which Hoyas bless us with new blooms this year in your collection. Oh my gosh, me too. I hope that we have some exciting Hoya blooms this year. As for plant tools, like the one thing, this isn't really a beginner thing though, but the one thing I feel like has really improved my plant care has been my electric watering thing, the electric sprayer. I'm like bordering on being an overwaterer now, you guys. Like, it's insane. My plants used to be so thirsty all the time, and now using that, it's just so much easier for me to water. But that's not the most practical suggestion because not everybody has like 225 plants. So maybe for large collections, I think it's really helpful. But for like beginners or smaller collections, it's probably not that helpful. Let me think of other things that I would suggest. I don't really do anything too fancy to care for my Hoyas. I mean, I love acrylic trellises. Like, I feel like trellising Hoyas is important, which is why I need to go around and catch up with all of the trellising that I need to do, because a lot of mine are like this and they're growing over their trellises. But I think having them properly trellised and having them in a nice potting mix, like if you want to buy a bougie potting mix for your Hoyas, I would get the Molly's Aeroid mix. My Hoyas love that. They go wild, the ones that I've put in that. So I think that that is a really good like leveling up thing for Hoya. The thing that I love about Hoya is that they're pretty chill. Like, as long as you give them light and fertilizer, they are pretty chill. And trellis them if they need to be trellised, you know? But yeah, Molly's Aeroid mix and good trellises. Hi Fern, how are the dogs doing? Do I remember correctly that Olive has a heart murmur? My little dog does too. Do you have to give her meds for it? Does your vet have to do anything special for it, like an ECG? Is she on any kind of special diet? Does Olive struggle with allergies? My girl has a lot of allergies. Love your videos so much. Always enjoy the little clips of your fur babies. Thank you so much. So yeah, Olive has a heart murmur. She gets an echocardiogram every year usually, mostly because like her heart murmur is pretty minimal and hasn't been worsening. But she usually gets an echocardiogram before she goes in for her dental procedure because she has to go under anesthesia and she has to go to like a specialty dentist, a cardiac, where they do like a cardiac protocol and like it's this whole big thing. So yeah, she usually gets an echo every year and she is on medication. She takes Vetmedin, which has been, I don't know, working well, I guess. I mean, her heart's not getting worse. She also lost a lot of weight, so that probably helped her as well. She is like a healthy lifestyle queen, going for her trail walks every single day. But yeah, we have to give her her pill for her heart twice a day, every single day. And that's it though. Like, she doesn't have any allergies. She doesn't need any special kind of diet. She has hybrid vigor. Yeah, she doesn't have like a sensitive stomach or any sensitive, like she's very chill besides this like pretty minor heart murmur that I'm just being vigilant about and trying to like do all the recommended things for, because I don't want it to, you know, worsen and decrease her quality of life as she gets older. I'm just like a paranoid dog mama. So yeah, that's what's up with her heart. On the other hand, Cadence also has a heart murmur and she doesn't take any medication for it. It doesn't seem to worsen. She's just chilling. So I think it's a pretty common thing, and a lot of the times they don't even really recommend like a treatment for it. But yeah, I don't know. That has been our experience with it. Okay, I had to change the battery and I just scrolled. I was like, wow, I can't believe we're getting to the end of the questions. And I just scrolled and then it refreshed and then it refreshed again and they just kept going. I'm like, oh no, oh no. I feel like I'm like hardly making a dent here. So, okay. Is there an effective way to prevent fungal issues in cabinets? I don't really have fungal issues in my cabinets, but I run a fan in both of them, like 24 hours a day. So yeah, you definitely need a lot of airflow in there. You can't just have them closed and just have like stagnant air. That's definitely a recipe for mold and fungal issues. Also, make sure that plants aren't dripping on each other. Like if you water them and then put them back in and they're dripping down onto the ones underneath, if it's like a Mills Tall cabinet or whatever, that could also cause like fungal spots on leaves. So I try to not have my plants all drip on each other. They kind of do, but I also have like powerful fans in there, so I don't usually get any fungal issues, luckily. Also, the DIY pest spray that I use, the Liquid Earth recipe, it is antifungal. So you could spray leaves with that if you're having a fungal issue, or you could buy, like they sell like antifungal fungicides and stuff. Do you have any recommendations for someone who wants to start making plant content, not necessarily to profit off of, but just to share the love of the hobby and meet new people? I think in one of my Q&As, I talked a lot about content creation and like the equipment I use and stuff, because I had just done my first year as being a full-time content creator. So I can link, it'll be in my Q&A playlist. But yeah, I think I talk more in depth in that video about it. But any specific questions, I'm happy to answer. But honestly, I say go for it. And if you're gonna make YouTube videos, oh my gosh, I just X'd out all my questions. If you're gonna make YouTube videos, I think like starting out just filming on a phone is good enough. And if you want to invest in a piece of equipment to kind of up the quality of your videos a bit, I would invest in an external microphone, because I think audio is really important and is really going to make your channel stand out more if you have good audio. Is your mom, wait, I didn't choose my pot again. Boop, 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 boop. Am I running out of pots? Oh my gosh, Tim Hortons cup. Okay, this one's going in Tim Hortons cup. I don't know what to tell you. Is your mom vegan? Yes, she is. We went vegan at the same time, actually. We're both vegetarian and then went vegan together. Are you married, or do you plan on marrying your guy? No, do not plan to get married. Do you listen to any podcasts or have any interest in them, like true crime or paranormal? I don't really listen to many podcasts. I listen to one bookish podcast called Reading Glasses, but that is like literally the only podcast I've been listening to, but I do want to find more. I don't know. I'm not really up with the podcast knowledge. I don't know what podcasts are good to listen to these days. And I also listen to audiobooks, so I feel like if I'm listening to something, it's probably going to be an audiobook rather than a podcast. But it is fun to listen to podcasts. Like I do, like my reading podcast that I listen to, I do listen to it every week when they release new episodes, so it's kind of fun to like keep up with something like that. And yeah, it's like a little treat in the week. But it'd be fun to find like a paranormal podcast or something. I think I would enjoy that. I used to listen to That's Why We Drink. Is that what it's called? That's Why We Drink. That's Why We Drink. Something like that. It was like a true crime podcast and I really enjoyed it. It's almost like nostalgic to me because I listened to it so much when I lived in a certain place and when I would go for my WALKs with Olive every day. But I haven't listened to that in years now. I don't really listen to true crime anymore or watch true crime anymore. I used to a lot, but it was giving me a lot of anxiety, I think. So I don't really watch it or listen to it anymore. Holiday plans in 2025. They have a sun emoji, so I think they mean like holidays, like going away, like traveling somewhere. And I don't really have any plans. I don't have any plans, actually. We go to the East Coast every fall, so we will be doing that. And that's pretty much like our trip of the year. We go there to stay with family. I'm not really a big traveler, so one year we do want to go to the UK. That's like, I don't really want to go many places because like I said, I just don't really like traveling. But I do really want to go to the UK. I don't really see myself being like a tropical vacation person, but maybe I would do that one year. I don't know. You never know. I kind of think it would stress me out. Like the whole planning and like not knowing if, I don't know. I just feel like it would kind of stress me out. And like trying to figure out meals I could eat. Like it's very easy for me to eat vegan here, and like I cook for myself most of the time, and like you can go to most restaurants have a vegan option now, and there's like tons of stuff in the grocery store. But if I was somewhere where there was like a language barrier and I just wasn't sure, like I think that would really stress me. So I would have to do a lot of research. Why the name Wild Fern? Because my name is Fern and I thought that was cute. Hoya or begonia? Natasha. I don't know, it's so hard. My immediate reaction was Hoya, but I love begonia so much. If I only had to grow one, what would I choose? Maybe I would choose begonia. Because I feel like, I don't know. I don't freaking know. Okay, I'm gonna say Hoya, I guess, because that was my immediate reaction, but that's so hard. What's the most stereotypical Canadian thing you do / love? Go to Tim Hortons. Do you ever see yourself not having houseplants anymore? No. Maybe like I could see myself with a drastically decreased collection maybe one day. If I was like if I got a different job and I was working outside the home or something, there's no way I would be able to have this many houseplants. Those of you who work full-time and like have kids and stuff and have massive collections, I have no idea how y'all do it. I don't think I would ever have none. Like, I think I would always have a handful of plants, because that just, like, when I go to someone's house and there's no plants in there, I'm just like, what the heck? Like, what's going on here? Feels sterile or something. Hi, I love your videos. They got me through the worst of times. So I just wanted to thank you first. You are so welcome. What are some of your goals for the 2 channels this year? So this one and Cozy Plant Lady. Goals. Honestly, I think that for this channel, something that I'm really thinking about is decreasing the amount of videos I put out. Not like crazy, but just like I used to try to do for a while. I was trying to do 3 uploads a week. I think like if I could do 1 or 2 uploads, but make them a lot higher quality and make them longer, or I'm thinking of kind of maybe doing like 2 uploads a week, but 1 that's like sit down and more topic focused or like showing plants or whatever, and then the second one being a long video, so like a long plant chores or more just like vlog style or like, you know, just something longer. So I think that that is a structure that could really work for me for this channel. Wait, was this goals? I mean, I guess that's kind of a goal, but I mean, if you're talking like, I don't really pay attention to subscribers, although I did recently hit 150,000 subscribers, so thank you so much. But I try to put less pressure on myself when it comes to like the numbers. So I guess long story short, I want the quality to be better and to be just, I don't know, I just want to be creating content that I feel really proud of and really passionate about, and that I'm able to like take my time with and sit down and add whatever I want into it and edit the way that I want to, rather than feeling this pressure of like having to constantly put out videos. But the thing is that I kind of have to be like putting out a certain amount of videos, because number 1, the algorithm will hate me if I don't, and number 2, this is my full-time job, so I can't just like, you know, some channels can only put out a couple of videos a month and they get like so many views, so they're able to do that. But for me, no, I have to be on top of it. Cozy Plant Lady, I try not to put a lot of stress on myself when it comes to that channel, because it's supposed to be just my outlet that is just for my own enjoyment and to document just things that aren't houseplant related that I want to talk about and share. So I try not to put a lot of pressure on myself, but that being said, I do actually put a lot of pressure on myself because I like to upload every Sunday, and that often means that I'm sacrificing like a whole weekend day to edit, because they're, you know, usually an hour longer videos, and I will have a whole bunch of clips from throughout the week. So yeah, I guess my goal, I don't really have any like numbers goals again for that one, but I think that my goal is just to be putting out content that I love and that I feel like really reflects me. So yeah, I don't know. I just really want to enjoy what I'm doing. Like, that's why I'm doing this. And if I'm not enjoying it anymore, I just want to be enjoying and like passionate about what I'm doing on both of my channels. So I guess that is my main goal. Okay, let's start removing the moss on the Velosa here. The next question is, seems so silly, but when using the cup on top of a moss pole, how do you know how much to fill or if it's working correctly? You just have to, I mean, for me, I just watch, like I can see the water coming down, being wicked down, not even being wicked, I guess it's like gravity basically for my just like cups on top of my moss poles. But I can see the difference between the moist moss and the drier parts. So I just fill the cup. I mean, I pretty much, if it still seems kind of damp, I will just fill it like halfway. But if my pole is dry, I will often have to fill it up like multiple times. And then I just watch until the water, or I'll feel it to make sure that it's all saturated. But yeah, you kind of have to play around. Like at first I had just really small holes, and then I made the holes bigger so that the water was coming through faster, but I kind of regretted that because it was coming out of the cups too fast. So I think that one small hole in the center of the bottom of the cup is what worked best for me. But yeah, you do kind of have to play around to see what's gonna work for you. And they can get clogged sometimes. Like I've had to unclog a couple of mine because moss will get stuck in the little hole. So you have to like take it to the sink and get that out so that the water can come through again. But yeah, honestly, they work great. You just need to take some time to kind of figure out like what amount of water your specific pole needs, because it's gonna vary depending on how tall the pole is and how wet it is and stuff. So yeah, this has really chunky, healthy looking roots. If money was not an issue, or if you won the lottery or came into lottery type money, oh gosh, I wish, what would your self-indulgent splurge be? You have to pick something. Second home, fancy car. I know you're not fond of traveling. What would you buy to spoil yourself? I love when you guys like know me, like, you know I'm not fond of traveling because I've mentioned that before and you remember. That's just so nice. I would definitely, I mean, my immediate thought is to buy a house, like a bigger house than this one. But also, I'm really just trying to be content with living in a small house. Like, it's fine. I don't need to like constantly be wanting something bigger and better, you know? Like, I'm so grateful to be here. But if I had the option, like if I just suddenly had a bunch of money to blow, maybe I would buy a bigger house. Just maybe. I can't think of anything else that I really want. I don't care about cars. I don't care about designer clothes or shoes or, you know. I would love to have a house with a plant room and with a library. So, and with all the things that I mentioned before, skylights and big windows. Oh, a greenhouse outside. How stunning would that be? Yeah, that'd be really nice. Looking for advice on downsizing. Watch my downsizing video if you haven't, because it might just give you more things to think about when you're considering whether you should keep a plant or not. I did like a point system where I scored my plants to decide whether I wanted to keep them or not. But honestly, like if I'm being so real for you, I've never regretted getting rid of a plant. Like I never have. I get rid of them and I don't ever think of them again because I have so many other plants to think about. So like if you have ever thought like, oh, I should get rid of this plant, I think you should just do it because it feels good. It feels good to lessen the load, you know? Is it hard for you to take care of a house with that many plants in a garden at the same time? Yes, it is extremely hard. It's been really nice to have a break from the garden in the wintertime because man, that was hard to stick to my routine of taking care of my plants and then also watering my garden every day and taking care of that. And I also like cook almost all of our meals, and obviously I am doing my videos for both of my channels and Patreon, and you know, I am a one-woman show truly, so it's definitely hard, and a lot of the house stuff gets pushed to the wayside, which kind of sucks. And this year I want to tackle some of that stuff. Like I've mentioned a few times now how I really want to paint this year. In February, I really want to like actually start taking some steps towards that, like actually go and pick out some colors and like just try to get the ball rolling. But yeah, really want to just get more organized in like a lot of different areas of the house, and yeah, just do some of those projects that I've really been putting off. But I also appreciate the things that we did get done, you know, like I have this garden now, we have a fence up now, we could have freaking air conditioning now in the summer, which is like literally a blessing. The first time in my life like I've had air conditioning. So yeah, we got some stuff done. I would like to know how to set up a grow tent. Honestly, I've never done it, so I can't advise, but I have considered setting one up in the basement. I think that would just be like another thing to stress me though. Is it, oh yeah, I already did that one. What pinguicula do you want in the future, and do you propagate pinguicula? I mean, I kind of propagate them. I will divide them when they're splitting, and I have some growing from leaf pullings, but I don't actively propagate them. Like I'm not trying to make more because I don't need any more. But my top wish list pinguicula right now is the Joanna. It's really pink. I really want that one, and I also want the raspberry blonde because I love the flower on that one. So those actually might be a couple plants that I do end up getting this year in the spring. How do you transfer your propagations of Hoya out of sphagnum moss to a different medium? I remove as much moss as possible if I'm doing pond, I will try to get the roots like pretty darn free of moss, but if it's just going into soil, I'm not as fussed, so this is good enough for me. And what pot is this even going to be going in? I might actually do a bigger one, because this has chunkier roots. I feel like he could go in this one. That might seem dramatic. It might seem dramatic, but I think he could go in a big one. YOLO. Oh, no, never mind. I already had a pot set out for him. It is this much smaller one. Okay, fine. I'll do the smaller one. Anyways, I don't really do anything special. I just plant them up, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I think it's important to give them decent light while they're establishing. So most of mine are under grow lights, and I water when it gets dry because they're pretty used to being moist. So I just try to make sure that after I repot it, it doesn't go bone dry, because that might be like too stressful of a difference for them. But I just pop them in, and then I'm gonna put them on, I'm obviously gonna water him through. You can also add something like Super Thrive to lessen the shock. I'm gonna be using Kelpie, which is similar. This is a kelp, what is it marketed? Plant food. Yeah, this is just made from kelp, so you can't really over fertilize. So I like to do that to just give a boost. I will use this or just Super Thrive for my new like repots. I don't know why it's hard for me to talk right now. If I transplant or uppot a plant, then I like to do that because they can shock. Or sometimes I just do regular water. Honestly, it depends what I'm feeling like. But I feel like adding just a little boost of nutrients can help them out. Oh no, I think I damaged the baby leaf. I couldn't tell if it was a bug or not. You know how Hoyas get like weird, like white looking stuff around the new leaves sometimes? I'm always like, is that mealies or is that just normal Hoya stuff? I don't know. Anyways, this is our last plant, the Sula Wessiana. So, I guess I'm gonna be using that little pot. Hello Fern, which plant gets more compliments from guests? Which plant name is most difficult for you to pronounce / remember? The plant that probably gets the most comments is my Lux hybrid Anthurium behind me. I feel like people always point out that one just because it has such big leaves. And the name that is the most hard for me to remember, the monkey tail cactus. It's like Callisto cactus, something, something, something. I feel like a lot of my cactus and succulents, I'm just like, a lot of my pinguiculas, I just don't even know their ID anymore. Like they're just all chilling together. It's definitely hard for me to keep track of my Anthurium. Like I almost always have to look at the tags. If they're hybrids, like I don't know what they are, except for my Goliath Frigitii. A lot of them I know the botanical name, but some of them I like only stick with the common name, like the fernleaf cactus. I couldn't tell you what the botanical name is for that one. Oh, my Hoya rosariae or something. I do not know how the heck you say that. So there's that as well. Do you see the houseplant industry / community ever growing past the peak it had in 2020? This is an interesting question. And I kind of talked about this in a recent video that I put up on Patreon, which is kind of talking about like the trend of houseplants over time. And like, it was a 2025 plant trends video, but I was talking about just like how current events influence hobbies and how they've influenced the plant community. And honestly, like 2020 was such a specific thing. Like that was such a specific event, world event, that like, I don't know if that ever will be replicated. So I don't know. It doesn't look like it, but who knows? Who knows? Trends usually come back again. But just as for how crazy that was at that time, I can't see it happening again. But I've also only been in this hobby for 6 years, so people who have been in this hobby for decades would have a better idea of what the future could be. Oh my gosh, this is a funny question that I think I've got like the last 2 Q&As and I didn't answer it, not for any particular reason, but I just like, I saw it and then when I was going through the questions, I just never got to it. But it is, do you swear off camera? The people want to know, and the answer is yes, I do. I have to censor myself on this channel, okay? I don't know if anybody even cares. Let me know if you care. Do you like that this channel is curse word free, or do you not care? Next question. It's from Silver Plant Guy, Dave. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check it out. Fellow planty creator, especially if you're into Hoya. I'll link it for you in the description. Knowing what you know now, if you were to start all over again, what would be your first plant purchase? Like my first actual plant? Honestly, I did what I feel like a lot of people do when they first get into plants, which is go to the plant store every weekend and buy every single plant that you don't have yet, which is definitely not what I would do if I was going to start over again, because yikes. I learned my lesson real fast that I kind of need to figure out my taste before I just went, and I need to figure out my growing conditions before I just went wild like that. Honestly, I wish that I would have gotten into things like pinguicula sooner. Like that's been like a relatively new thing that I've been really into, but I feel like those are such amazing beginner plants. I wish I would have stayed away from calathea. I wish I would have gotten, well, I was into Hoya. I was. A lot of my Hoyas I've had for like 5 years, like my OGs, my Linearis, my Polyneura, my Crimson Queen, and no regrets. Those were awesome plants to get. I guess to simplify, if I had to rebuild my collection, the first plant I would buy is Marble Queen Pothos. You gotta stick with the tried and true sometimes. And I love my Marble Queen Pothos so much. They're sentimental to me. I would have to replace her, I feel. Or something really fun like alocasia frydek. Oh, my Begonia polensis. I would be buying her back in a heartbeat. I really would. Actually, if I could only have one plant in my collection, it would probably be her. So that's gonna be my final answer. Oh my gosh, that's funny. The next question is, what was your biggest mistake when buying plants? What did you learn from the experience? Yeah, so I kind of talked about that. I was just buying everything at first. But I feel like it's like anything, like any hobby, you kind of have to go through the process of figuring out what you like. Like, I had to get back into reading books for a few years before I've really like nailed down what I truly enjoy reading and the kind of books that I want to have in my book collection. You have to watch various movies to find out what movies you enjoy, like everything kind of like that. So I feel like I had to go through that process to figure it out. Okay, I think that is going to be it. I have been sitting here for 3 hours now, over 3 hours actually. So it is time to pack up, get these plants watered and situated, and clean everything up here. So I hope that y'all enjoyed hanging out and chatting with me and repotting some plants. I really appreciate you watching. Also, a huge thank you again to Peak for sponsoring this video. Don't forget, they will be linked down below in the description box. You can get 15% off plus a free cup and a free frother. And yeah, I think that's it. Leave me a comment down below. I would love to chat with you. But other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.